Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into a single incredibly powerful poem, The Zulu Girl by Roy Campbell. It's one of those poems that, it looks simple on the surface, but there's just so much going on underneath.
Absolutely. It really invites you to look closer.
And Roy Campbell himself, he's quite a character. Born in Durban, South Africa, 1901. What's interesting is he grew up actually on his father's farm playing with local Zulu kids. So he learned the language, got this really deep kind of firsthand understanding of their lives. And you can feel that connection in his writing, can't you?
Oh, definitely. It shaped his whole perspective. And later on, he became, well, quite critical of the whole colonial setup in South Africa. He had this real empathy for people who were oppressed. And you see that so clearly in The Zulu Girl.
Right.
He even, started a satirical magazine, Voorslag, which means whiplash, used humor, irony to kind of poke holes in what the colonizers were doing, caused a huge fuss, apparently.
Wow. Okay, so for this deep dive, our plan is really to explore the story Campbell tells, dig into those, powerful feelings and images, and figure out what enduring message it has about, well, human spirit, about resilience. It seems like a straightforward scene at first glance, but trust us, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah, exactly. So to really get a feel for it, let's just listen to the poem first. Try to soak in the words, the pictures it creates. When in the sun the hot red acres smolder, down where the sweating gang its labor plies. A girl flings down her hoe and from her shoulder, unslings her child tormented by flies. She takes him to a ring of shadow pooled by the thorn tree, purpled with the blood of ticks, while her sharp nails, in slow caresses ruled, prowl through his hair with sharp electric clicks. His sleepy mouth, plugged by the heavy nipple, tugs like a puppy, grunting as he feels. Through his frail nerves, her own deep languors ripple, like a broad river sighing through the reeds. Yet in that drowsy stream his flesh imbibes an old, unquenched, unsmotherable heat. The curbed ferocity of beaten tribes, the sullen dignity of their defeat. Her body looms above him like a hill, within whose shade a village lies at rest. Or the first cloud so terrible and still, that bears the coming harvest in its breast.
Okay, so having heard that, let's unpack it a bit. On the surface, just basically what's happening here.
Well, in simple terms, it's showing us this really tough situation. A Zulu woman working in these incredibly hot fields, carrying her baby on her back. We see her stop working for just a moment, to feed her child. Takes a quick break under a tree.
It paints such a clear picture of just how harsh it is. That first stanza, boom. Hot red acres smolder. The child tormented by flies. It sets the stage immediately, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Stanza one just throws you right into that oppressive feeling. The heat, the discomfort, the struggle for both of them. It's a scene of real hardship.
And then she moves to the shade.
Yeah.
What about that moment? That sort of intimate connection with the child.
Right. So stanzas 2 and 3, they really zoom in on the mother's love, her nurturing side. Even though she's clearly exhausted, she takes him to this ring of shadow. And you see her strength, and how she still cares for him. That line about her nails, sharp nails, prowl through his hair with sharp electric clicks. It sounds almost harsh, but it's tender, right? She's cleaning him, caring for him.
Yeah, it's a surprising image, but it feels so real, so focused.
Exactly. And then the child feeds, pulling like a puppy. And you get that sense of her deep tiredness, her deep languors, transferring to him almost like a broad river sighing.
But there's like more going on than just feeding him milk, isn't there? It feels deeper than that.
Yes, precisely. That's where it really shifts. In stanza 4, the word imbibes. He drinks, literally yes, but he's also absorbing something else from her. An old, unquenched, unsmotherable heat, the curbed ferocity of beaten tribes, the sullen dignity of their defeat.
Wow.
So it's not just physical, it's about heritage, spirit, this resilience being passed down.
Yeah, that unsmotherable heat. That's powerful. And then that final stanza just feels huge.
The last stanza is where her strength and dignity are really, elevated. Her body looms above him like a hill, within whose shade a village lies at rest.
Okay, so like a protector.
Exactly. A source of stability, protection for her people. And then even more, like the first cloud so terrible and still that bears the coming harvest in its breast. She becomes this symbol way beyond just one individual woman.
Let's talk about the feeling, the mood. It starts off pretty grim, right?
Oh, definitely. Gloomy is a good word. All those words in the first stanza, smolder, sweating, tormented, they create this really heavy, uncomfortable, almost suffocating feeling. You feel a hardship.
Yeah, you really feel that heat, the discomfort. But the tone, like the poet's attitude, that changes too, doesn't it? It starts with sympathy, clearly.
Absolutely. Deep sympathy for her situation. But then it grows into, well, admiration, I think. As the poem goes on, the mood sort of lightens a bit, becomes more hopeful maybe,
Yeah.
optimistic even.
Hmm.
Campbell is clearly sympathetic, but he's also really admiring her strength, her endurance.
So even with the beaten tribes, there's that sullen dignity of their defeat. That phrase is amazing. It's not just sadness, it's like a quiet strength that won't break.
Exactly. A dignity that persists despite everything. It's a really key idea.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for me. The imagery. This poem is just full of pictures that help us get the deeper meaning. What images really jump out at you?
Well, that red acre smolder we mentioned, it's such a strong metaphor. It makes the heat almost visible, like the land itself is burning up.
Yeah.
And then that detail, the thorn tree being purpled with the blood of ticks, it's kind of gruesome, but it paints such a stark picture of the harshness of the natural world they're in.
Right, it's not a gentle nature scene at all.
Hmm.
And the comparisons, the similes are so good, like the baby tugging like a puppy.
Mm-hmm. It really grounds it in that innocent, almost animal need. It's very primal.
Yeah.
And the mother's exhaustion, her deep languors ripple like a broad river sighing through the reeds. That's beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
It shows how tired she is, but also maybe something continuous, something flowing about her spirit, quietly pushing through.
Like it's deep, but it keeps going. But the really big images, the ones that kind of lift her up,
Right.
are at the end, right?
Yeah.
When she becomes more than just herself.
Indeed. Campbell uses those two massive similes in the last stanza. First, like a hill within whose shade a village lies at rest. So she's suddenly the symbol of protection, stability for her whole community. A place of peace, rest, even in the middle of all this struggle.
A foundation. And then that second one, the cloud image, that one feels different,
Yeah.
more complex.
Yeah, the first cloud, so terrible and still, that bears the coming harvest in its breast. It's packed with meaning. A harvest cloud suggests future growth, good things to come, sustenance.
Right, hope.
But then he throws in terrible. Why terrible? It suggests maybe this future, this harvest, isn't just peaceful growth. Maybe it's powerful, maybe even a bit frightening.
Like an uprising,
Eh,
or just significant change.
could be. A force to be reckoned with, definitely. It hints at this potential, this strength that's building up under the surface, born from this suffering, but holding immense future power.
So putting it all together then, what's the main thing Campbell wants us to take away? What's the core message of the Zulu Girl?
Well, fundamentally, the poem is showing us the suffering, the inhumanity that oppressed people, laborers, faced under colonialism. Campbell definitely wants to highlight that hardship. But, and this is crucial, he also wants us to see and admire the spirit, the endurance of the Zulu people.
So it's not just about showing pain, it's about celebrating that inner strength that survives it.
Exactly. It's ultimately a message of resilience and I think hope for the future. Even with the curbed ferocity, the sullen dignity, there's that old, unquenched, unsmotherable heat.
That inner fire again.
Yeah. That spirit, that core resilience, it can't be put out. And it's passed down mother to child.
So the poem is saying that even when things look incredibly bleak, there's this inherent dignity, this promise of something more, something that can't be crushed.
Precisely. It's a really profound lesson, isn't it? About how even in the worst situations, the human spirit, especially maybe the collective spirit of a community, holds this incredible quiet strength and this enduring hope for whatever comes next. Digging into the Zulu Girl like this really shows how poetry can take these huge, complex ideas, history, emotion, struggle, and just distill them into these really sharp, unforgettable images. It lets us see that amazing strength in quiet endurance and maybe those little hints of what the future might hold.
It really does. It makes you think, doesn't it? About how history, even really painful history, shapes people, shapes their spirit. And how something as simple, as fundamental as a mother feeding her child can carry so much weight, symbolically, for a whole culture. It's way more than just that one moment. Well, that's all for today's deep dive. Hit like for the poem that speaks to you, and subscribe for the ones yet to come.